Hey guys, what's going on? So I've had a lot of requests about this machine, inquiries, whatever, across Discord, Facebook, Twitter, the various places that I posted some pics of the brain and stuff like that. And the brain is what we're going to focus on here because this thing is so massive and quite an undertaking to make. We're going to do this piece by piece over the course of 2 and maybe even 3 videos. So we're going to explain the brain. The principle of the brain works off this singular circuit in a repeating fashion and a certain pattern. And the way this circuit works is if a signal comes in from the one side, it goes all the way through. If a signal goes to the other side, once again, it goes all the way through. But if a signal goes here, it gets locked off. Although I messed up, and I did not put my timing when I built this example circuit, but that's okay. We can turn it off and start over again. There we go, locking it off, making no output. But technically, there is a third output, right? So it is basically a binary logic circuit, trinary logic circuit, I don't know what you'd call that, but that's my sub-processing unit for the brain. So we're going to first show you how to build it. It's very simple. You're going to start off by going 7 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to come back 1 on either side, raise up 1 on this side. You can do this in the ground, you can do this in the air, whatever, it doesn't really matter what level you do it in, just has to line up with the back of your device or with your device, because you want it to be within the loaded chunks. Noting that we have limited chunks come out 1 forward here, we're going to take out some excess blocks here. It's going to have a little floating 3 thing. This circuit's going to be repeated. Too many blocks taken out. So we're going to come up. This is going to come up 1, take out that block. And that's the basic skeleton of your circuitry. And now we're going to lay our redstone lines, which involve 3 torches, as so. A bunch of redstone repeaters, 1 here, 1 coming in as the input sources, 1 on here. I'm sure you could do this without it, but the reason we do all this is for timing, so that everything times correctly at the very end when it comes out. Because this is all about timing, specifically. You take each of these and you bring them to 3 ticks. This slows down the pulse heading through. This will allow your brain to process all the information. Oops, wrong way. 1 coming in here, 1 coming in here, 1 here. You have no delay on any of these other repeaters, just those 6. And that is the basic circuit itself. You have your input, and you have where your output will be. So, we're good. We're going to repeat this exact pattern over again on top of itself until there are a total of 6 different ones because we have 6 lights on a single dice. I'll be back when that's complete. So now we have 1 subprocessor complete of a 6 subprocessor system for the computer. I call these subprocessors because that's really how these things would be defined. So we're going to come over 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to start building another set of subprocessor cores, but we're going to put it in the opposite direction of the original. And it's just the same pattern, again, that we did before. Only this is going to be in the opposite direction. And then we're going to repeat the process of making it 6 tall. So once again, I'll be back when I'm done with that. Alright guys, so after you get those 2 initial towers built, you're going to end up wanting to repeat that process a total of 3 times, till you have 6, 3 going this way, 3 going that way. And this is the basic part of your brain. Now, we're going to put in the wiring. I put in these things on the end here to represent connectors so that your brain can kind of keep track of what's connector, what's brain, and ooh, I forgot a few. It's a pain to have to build this many things, but so these are the input sectors. So we're going to go, and I'm choosing concrete because I'm in creative. You can use whatever you want to mark these out. You can even make them uncolored at all, but it is so much easier to troubleshoot when your lines follow a specific order of color of some sort. Kind of like real wires in your car or whatever. The red wire goes to this, the blue wire goes to this, so forth and so on. Each one of these wires will lead to a different light on each die. So this is the left side dice. This will be the first light that lights up, let's say top left hand corner, and this is the top left hand corner of the other dice. Maybe it's the top right hand corner of the other dice. Either way, each one will lead to a different light on a different dice, and each side represents one dice. So we take this side, of course, easily across. We're going to just continue this side completely, entirely unbroken, all the way to each side. Now this is going to be your redstone lines, and we're going to repeat that with all the colors leading down, but this side is where the pattern comes important. On this side, you start off with red. We're going to take red down. It doesn't have to be red, it can be whatever color you want it to be, but this is line 1, say. Now line 2 is going to be an orange line, so once again we follow the same pattern. We're going to bring it down to meet up the one below it. The next line is your yellow line, or whatever color you chose. Once again, follow that same pattern. Becoming a little repetitive here, isn't it? That's the point of this type of circuitry, though. It's supposed to be repetitive that way. It's easy to copy, and it does a simple task. A lot of programming, for instance, is repetitive. A lot of wiring is repetitive. It's just how it goes. Patterns. You find these patterns in things, and they're really what gets things going properly. Now then, this last one being purple, we are actually going to have it come out here, right in between these two. We're going to, I need a torch. I can easily access one from here, like this. We are going to end up torch towering this. Let's make sure this works. It should. Yeah. So like I said, we're going to torch tower this. I thought I was doing it correctly. You want to avoid having to use any unnecessary repeaters at this point because it's all about timing. That is on, so we need it off. Perfect. Oh, hey, that did turn out perfectly. I should have known. Oh no, it didn't. There's something off here. Oh, pfft. Everything has to be moved back. Sorry if you were following step by step behind. I seriously doubt it, but everything has to be moved back one space. So we will run our redstone line down. We will run our redstone line down here. We will run our redstone line down here. again. Getting repetitive again, ain't it? Run a redstone line down here. And finally run a redstone line down here. Now at this point, that is completely hooked up. There you go, central processing unit right there. At least for one. So what'll happen is this will check the top left hand of the dice versus the top left hand of the other dice. If they both have a signal coming through, it'll cut it off. If not, that signal will continue on to the next elimination process. And it will compare it to this. The same applies now for the second light. It'll compare. So forth. And so on. All the way through these. Close to the brain, so I'm gonna get along and I will show you a little more details, I guess, when I reach the turnaround point. Alrighty then, now I've probably missed a piece of redstone dust here or there. That's what troubleshooting is for afterwards. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this connection here. So we're gonna start off with the straight line connections. One of the reasons why I add these here is because this is just such a simple way to do it. As you see, I already put that one on the bottom. So these will just run straight across. But before we add our redstone to these, we need to move these around. So here we have this line runs to here, and which means it goes like this. At this point, back to green, and green leads up here. Whoops. I do that so often. And yellow down to the bottom. What? Oh yeah. I don't know why my brain just froze there for a second. So we're going to take this, and it's only going to drop. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's far enough. There's a space between it, right? Yeah. So we're going to drop it down to the height, the one below it, wrap it around to the connection point. Now here's where things get special. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there, 11. 11 and 11, because I like to do things, I don't know how you put it, evenly. So we're going to put one there. Now that should be the same pattern again on all of these like we did with the other one. But because of that, we need a repeater on each one of these to match the repeater timing on the ones below it. It doesn't matter if it's one back or anything like that, though I'm kind of OCD about this stuff. So these repeaters are meant to match the amount of repeaters here, and you're also going to, when it's putting in this, which is going to go all the way to the top, you're also going to need a repeater. It's going to need to come out 2 spaces so nothing interferes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we're going to come around here, all the way down. Okay, and it's not as easy to build down, I guess, as it is to build up. This matchup over here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like I said, I'm a little odd about things. This should be a proper torch tower all the way up, just like before, where the top was off. And then we're going to connect the rest of these wires the same way we did this wire. Up, one, down, over, down, over, down, over, boom, boom, boom. And that's pretty much that. Then when this comes around, it's going to follow the same pattern as the other side, only coming out the other way. And then finally, all of these right here will lead into a single line. It's going to come out to another processor, but I'll get to that when I get there. So I'm going to finish this part up, and then I'll see you when I get back. Now, all of this could probably be compressed just a little bit shorter, like one space shorter, but I just like to be able to move around, work around, make sure nothing interacts with each other. Like, if this was a little shorter, I don't know, these torches might interfere with each other and stuff. But now that we've got the main bulk of this thing done, yeah, I know I've missed some redstone in here, and I could put that in. But this is mostly to teach you how to do it. We're going to take this section here, and all of these are outputting. Now, the trick is we need to output. If there's an output from any of these, it needs to be sent up or down or whatever, and an output from any of these needs to be. So this is rather complex. Now, alright guys, and now for this here, right here, it's the last step. I actually had to refigure this out because most of my stuff's always been fly by ear, higgledy, and I figured out the most efficient way to do it just for this video. So, we're going to be copying this pattern that I've done over here, and what this is we're going to raise one up, torch, place another on here, turns that off, turns that off. Okay, yeah, those are connected properly. Just make sure that last little bit was done right. So we're going to do first this pattern on every single one like this. So I'm going to do that again here. Come up one, torch, up one, torch, out one, up one, torch. Once again, copy this. I'm going to go up one, torch, up one, torch, and then over and up one, torch. Now that makes the first set. Now, we want to take and turn this into our torch line. Over one, up one. This is the start of a standard torch line. Preparing for a torch line. Oh, right, I haven't laid my redstone yet. Sitting there like confused for a second. Now, I'm going to lay this piece of redstone here. That will inverse this. So, for the pattern to work, once again, place one there, redstone there, that'll turn that off. Place one there, redstone there, that'll turn that off. Ooh, I forgot some redstone back here. So the final stage is to have another off switch, basically, to guarantee bottom one's activated, it turns off the top ones. If this one's activated, it turns off the ones above it. And finally, that should not have been there, that should have been there. So this is set up so that if any of these on this side is on, the signal will come out here. Any of these on these sides is on, the signal will come. So we're going to connect these right here. So if either this, wait, is that correct? I think that's correct. Because this is if any of the bottom ones are on. Yeah, so you put it here. This way, this piece of redstone is taking an input from both this and this. So if any of the sides turn on, then it gets. Now we just have our outputs, these both for whichever side wins, and if you have done this, when we hook this up, you'll see that each side will represent one side of the dice, and it's as simple as that. Thank you for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be releasing the next video, part 2, the actual machine, which will be the dice rolling machine based off of a design by One Man One Game, or at least it was his video that I found it on. The machine is slightly altered in order to fit in with what I want it to do, because his was a simple randomized dice rolling machine. This device should work on both Java and on Bedrock. It is very simple redstone logic. There's no burnout clocks, nothing like that. It's probably not going, I mean, as far as I can tell, this thing provides almost no lag whatsoever when it's processing. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next video, which will be the machine. Goodbye, everybody.